Hey guys, it's Lord Hammer from TourSyndicate and GuildUmber.net, and I'm here with James Ohlen. What's going on, sir?
Well, lots of stuff's going on. We're at E3, and we're showing off the game again. So, you know.
So what's really, would you say, is the main thing you're trying to show fans here at E3?
Well, I think we want to make sure that people believe we're going to have an Elder game. And
right.
So therefore we're showing our version of Raids, which is called Operations. And that's essentially a chance for players at the highest level to gather up into multiple parties, group together, and face the most difficult challenges in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Okay. Now, what has been, I guess, a big differentiator between now and PAX East, which has only been a couple of months ago?
Well, we've announced Operations. We also have a brand new interface. We've redone the whole interface, so it has a completely different look. We've actually added a bunch of functionality, and it works a lot smoother right now. So you can play it right here, and it's a pretty gorgeous interface. A little bit more Star Warsy, fits the IP a little bit better, and it just plays better in all. We've also done, well, the game is complete in terms of content. Now we're still polishing the content, but you can play from beginning to end, from level 1 to 50, with all 8 classes. In fact, we have a contest going in the office right now to see who can actually finish a character.
Who can level the fastest?
Yeah, who can get to the end of that. We're going to give a prize and everything. So that's pretty exciting. We're playing the game from beginning to end. We have, we have war zones popping while we're playing. That's really exciting. War zones. To tell you the truth, it's a surprise for me. I've told Gabe Angelo, who's the lead designer on War Zones, that I'm very proud of what he's done, because I'm not a giant PvP fan when it comes to MMOs.
Right.
But I love our War Zones. Like I have the button on my interface pressed all the time, so that whenever one pops, I can get in there and start fighting. I don't know if it's just the fact that it's Star Wars, it's the music, the John Williams music in the background, or the fact that you have people with lightsabers, huge guns, Gatling guns, grenades going off, or the fact that they're just really well balanced and fun. So that's not really new, but it is, the polish on them has been improved so much now. And we have more than just one war zone. I don't think we've talked about all of them yet, but some of them are pretty exciting. We have 3 currently.
Well, that's cool. And to your point, though, I mean, I remember Gabe, I guess back at with the Mythic days, because we actually, well, I used to live where I used to work, if that makes any kind of sense. So I'd actually razz him about that. And to your point, I'm not really a big PvPer, but when I played PvP at the fan site Summit, it is amazing. It's fun, it's contextual, it has a purpose as opposed to just 10 people jumping on one level 1 character. So, I mean, you managed to figure out a way to put story into PvP. I love that.
I agree. It's a lot of fun. So I guess that's kind of new. We've been doing a lot of adjustments to companion characters to make them more exciting and to appear more intelligent. Like all of our social systems are now in the game, whether that be guilds or the auction house or friends list or chat. We have it all in now, so it's you can actually go to course and you can go to the auction house and you can put stuff up for sale, and there's stuff up for sale already. So it's really cool. It's a real MMO. You can go to the guild, you can form a guild. Everyone's forming guilds. I think the best guild name is Works as Designed. So that's one of our internal because that's when you get a bug often. That's what designers like to do. Is Works as Designed. Make that bug go away.
So the interesting thing is, integrating, I guess, the pre-launch guild system into the game, but people will still have the option to create guilds and form guilds, even if they join and they're not guilded prior to the launch. That's correct, right?
Correct, yeah.
So then, how is that experience for people who are joining the game? Let's say, the game comes out yesterday, I've installed it, I've done any patching if any of that needs to happen, and I know that I was in a pre-launch guild prior to the launch of the game. Is that option just going to pop up for me, or how does that work?
Well, I can't talk about that right now because we're in the midst of implementing that feature. So it's something that, because it's innovative and it's never been done before, we have a design for it. But
I had to ask one question that you were going to say that.
Yeah, I know. But it's something that, because it's a little bit innovative, the more innovative something is, the less likely it's going to stick to what the design document says. So we might make some adjustments to it. So I'll talk about it when we have it in the game and we're testing it. But it's obviously we have to have that feature, since, but it's coming along pretty good, and it should be soon that I'll be able to talk about it.
Okay, now you guys are going to, even though we are at E3, but PAX is still looming, you guys are showing up at PAX Prime. Are there anything special that you guys are working on between now and then, or any kind of nuggets for us out here?
Well, we do have a lot of stuff we can show, so it's just a matter of, there's tons of the game is enormous, so all we have to do is pick another really exciting part of the game and show it off. Now in terms of new features, well, content-wise we have a lot. As in feature work, yeah, there are some features that we have yet to talk about, so there is, whether we talk about it at PAX, Prime, or later, it really depends on how that feature's going. So.
Okay.
But there's not many. We're really close now. We're really just kind of we're focusing on polishing up the Elder game at this point, making sure we have a really strong Elder game, and we're going to have one. For all those people afraid of that, we have the flashpoints, the level 50 flashpoints. We have the level 50 raids. We have the war zones, which you can do all three of them at the highest level. We have space missions specifically for the Elder game. We have an entire planet full of repeatable Elder game content. So, yeah.
So we're not going to be bored like a month after the game launches.
And the plan for post-release content very much focuses on the player who has got to level 50. So, because we know that the player who wants to reroll a character is a lot of content to keep him playing for, I don't know, a couple decades maybe.
Well, so one thing I guess to kind of inject it, as you said, polish is the key word right now. The game, in my opinion, has been ready to ship relative to games I've played before, 6 months ago. However, I was at the Fan Summit, or the Fan Site Summit, only a month and a half ago, and I played today the level 25 Sith Juggernaut, and the game, the UI, and everything was noticeably different. It was so much smoother. The polish was just off the hook. And the game I thought was perfectly beautiful before. So to your point, it's just continuing to get more and more amazing every time I look at it. So one last question before I go. You mentioned it at PAX East that you were looking now at guild ships as maybe a post-release kind of thing, a post-launch kind of thing.
I think I got in trouble for talking about that.
Now, is that something that your team is focusing on now, or are you going to wait till launch, make sure that's a stable and successful launch, and then go back into the developmental rigor, or is that something that maybe a couple of shadow operations are going on now to kind of start building that in?
Yeah, we definitely, guild ships would be a pretty big feature if we tackled it, so it's not something we're going to get into a ship for sure, but it is something that we're looking at. We have a lot of different post-release features we want to do, and we want to focus again on features that really are targeted at the Elder game players and basically increasing the social cohesion in the game. So things like guild ships, or improving the way chat works, or improving, for example, how you can communicate with the game outside of the game. Yeah, there's a lot of different plans we have, but when they're going to come, I can't really say that.
Well, that's fair enough. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us here at E3. Again, the game looks amazing, and have a great show.
Thank you.